Hi-ho, and howdy, everybody. My name is Shannon Ilshook, and welcome to episode number 21? It's a number. Of Katawa Shoujo. We are here once again doing stuff. And in the last episode, we had the birthday going away party, and we met Akira, and that was cool. And Hanako got fucking shit-faced. And, yeah. And here we are, back in our room. The hammering of a fist against the door feels like a nail being pounded in my head. That's the fucking worst. When you're trying to sleep, and then there's just, like, a sound somewhere. Either it's just a casual knock at the door. Like, if it's someone where you're like, I can just fucking sleep. It's not, whatever you have to say, it's not that important. And it just fucking keeps going and going. Or, like, the headphones that I have, they fucking beep when they're starting to run out of thing, and I'll usually be listening to my headphones a little bit before I go to bed, and then I'll usually put them near my head on my fucking bedstand or something. And then at some point trying, I'm just about to go to beep. Fuck, that's going to keep going for, like, the next 6.5 hours, isn't it? And it is, and I never sleep. I could just get up and do that shit, but once you're in there, you don't want to fucking get out. Come on now. The hammering... Nope, shit, we just did this. Once, twice, 3 times. I let out a long, annoyed breath and bear it while pressing my eyelid shut, fervently hoping for whoever it is to just go away. I feel pretty damn awful. My face feels like it's cast out of lead, my arms feel heavy, and I feel very queasy. It's been like this since I woke up a half an hour ago, and I cannot summon the energy to pick myself up out of bed. So this is what they call that movie that they made 3 of. Excuse me, I need to fucking grab something. My back. Severe curvature of the spine. I wonder if perhaps this is the best treatment for teenagers who desperately want to try drinking as a way to feel like an adult. Considering how unpleasant it is, it's not something I want to repeat. A series of thumps rings out again, reverberating around the small room. I wish they'd just give up already. I have no intention of getting out of bed for them. Seconds pass, turn into minutes. Since no more knocks coming from the door, whoever it was must have left. Thank God. Looking to my clock, the time when I really should think about getting dressed and ready for class is approaching. I don't think I can manage it, though. I hate cutting class, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get much done at this rate. I can tell I look like a mess without needing to look in the mirror to confirm it, too. The morning rush is giving me enough time to stand outside the classroom for a little while without looking too suspicious. I hope that Muto doesn't ask any awkward questions about my not attending school yesterday. This is already the next day? Damn, you move fast, my man. I was sick. That much is true. It's just the reasons for it that I have to hide. Confident that I can get by with a tactical omission of certain truths, I stride into the classroom doing my best to appear normal. The instant I open the door and take a single step in, I feel a dozen eyes looking at me. There is no way I'm imagining this. They're not even making any attempt to hide it. My eyes take a quick sweep around the classroom and I spot Hanako. We make eye contact momentarily before she looks down and stares very hard at her desk. Did she spill the beans? Muto may be okay as far as teachers go, but underage drinking on campus is not exactly something that would be taken lightly. I look to him with some trepidation. Feeling better today? Yeah, thank you. He motions for me to take my seat. My legs are feeling like sticks as they carry me there. This is gonna be a long day. As soon as the lunch bell rings, I'm on my way to Hanako's desk to ask her what's going on. Hanako, did you tell? She looks up at me and shakes her head. That's a fucking big goddamn relief. It's just? Well, hello there, Hee-chan. It is nice to see you again today. God damn, Shizune. Stop it with the face. I grimace and turn towards the unmistakable voice coming from behind me. That was way too upbeat of a tone to feel comfortable, even from Misha. Misha's happy smile is nothing out of the usual. Shizune's, though, is a terrible goddamn sign. The one she wears has become notched into my brain as her "I've got you 7 ways from Sunday" smile. You is fucked, sexually and or otherwise. Maybe and. Damn. Hi, Shizune, Misha. You look happy to see me.
Not feeling well yesterday, Hichan?
No, I wasn't. But I'm feeling better now, at least.
That's good to know, Hichan.
Why do I get the feeling that Shizune is leading me into trap? Because she fucking always is. Look at her. She is just the epitome of trap. And I don't mean like she might have a dick. Moving on. You sound like you're not being completely serious.
Oh no, Hichan. We are genuinely pleased that you're all better now.
Shizune... Nope, shit. Shizune is positively overflowing with happiness. There's only one reason why she would be like this. Oh no.
In fact, we were quite worried about you after all. You, Hanako, and Lily were all absent from class on the same day.
Damn it! Yep, she's got us. So thoroughly that all I can do is sigh in defeat. I guess you have your own theories about this. Could you just kind of not tell anyone?
It's a bit late for that, Hichan.
I suppose she's right, considering the looks I got when I entered class. Still, things only seem to be at the level of vague suspicion rather than outright accusations. So we'll probably be fine. Hanako's face sinks a little further. Such attention is troublesome even for me, enough for me, let alone for her. Going by Shizune and Misha's reactions, I think they noticed this as well.
The only reason we're giving you such a hard time is that... is that you... I'm sorry, this is very unladylike. It's unprofessional. Oh no, that you ignored us yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning? It takes a while to recollect what happened then, given the haze induced by the general awful state I was in at the time. Oh, right. The knocking. That was you two.
It was, and you left us there for ages after we'd taken all the effort to come into your dormitory early in the morning. You son of a bitch.
I just wanted you to open the fucking door. Sorry, I was having a problem with nausea. Yeah, that's right. It sounds good. They're not buying it, and I cannot blame them. I mean, you probably felt a little nauseous, maybe? Maybe? Shizune's head drops in resignation before she reaches into her pocket. Something white and yellow can be sticking out a little as she pulls it out. It turns out to be an envelope with very bright decorations on it. Pronoun game. Since she points it towards me, I duly take it.
This is what we are trying so hard to give you, Hichan. You don't trick your...
I tune out the sound of Misha's voice as my eyes register what's written on the envelope. Hanako. I stare at the envelope for a moment before suddenly remembering that there are other people around me. Hanako. Fuck you, Ako. I don't have a goddamn name. Damn it. It's irritating to me. There's a very strange, somewhat invasive feeling about their expressions. I kind of want to be alone right now.
Hanako?
It's, nothing. Thank you for bringing me this, you two.
I should think so. After all we went through to get it to you.
I step back and say my goodbyes. Misha theatrically pouts even as I go out the door, but Shizune and Hanako remain very visibly curious about my reaction. I hope they won't interrogate me on this later. The smell of the gardens is, as always, a very pleasant sensation. Some of the most visible signs of how well-funded the school is, aside from its sheer size, are the expansive condition of its grounds. It does look pretty. A good number of students can be seen eating lunch, chatting and playing on the bright green lawns. Even some of the staff is enjoying the summer here, keeping a watch over the students and idly walking along the long concrete paths. Damn. I'd never seen a sight like this in my home city. On excursions maybe, but certainly never in school or anywhere near where I lived. Even the bench I sit on to read is warmer thanks to the summertime sun, reminding me of why I haven't worn the school blazer even once yet. Considering this, the sunflowers and splashes of vibrant yellow coloring adorning the paper are quite appropriate for the time, if only the words on it were as well. Here I was, thinking to manage to get over her, and this troublesome thing shows up. Yeah, fuck her. Come on now. Ignore this. You just throw that shit away. You threw it on the ground. I'm sorry. Her handwriting looks vaguely familiar at best, and only now that I've seen it again, I remember that she used to write in pink pen a lot. She always was very girly, for lack of a better term. But she was also quite fragile. I never knew if I liked this aspect of her or not, though with the arrival of this letter, that question seems to have become largely moot. The letter begins with not much more than an update on the state of things going on in her life. My old class had a good start to the school year. Many are anxious about exams that will be coming up in the future, etc. But it ends on a very personal, if brief, note. It feels a bit like she wrote most of the letter just to try and soften the blow from the ending. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I'm really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most. Even though I like you so much, at least now, finally I can be more honest. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, and I'd tell you not to give up on yourself, that's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you've managed to get back on your feet on your own. Damn. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we'll ever meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you'd like to correspond with me, by all means write back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you're doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, I don't know what the fuck my name is. And so, that's that. Our relationship is over. Nice, neat, and tidy with no ambiguity. I hadn't held on to any illusions that it would ever begin anew. The last time she visited me, neither of us said a thing except for the one word she said as she left, for the last time. Goodbye. Be that as it may, this feels more final. The capstone on an experiment that both of us tried and failed at. A loud shout draws my eyes away from the letter. It's just some students horsing around, with one of the teachers standing nearby coming over to talk to them. Shit, I don't know. Are you okay? Oh, fuck, it's Yuko. Are you okay? A tentative voice comes from my side. For a moment, I assume it to be Hanako, but it's actually Yuko. I don't know how you can mix this voice here with this voice. Oh, hey, Yuko. I thought you'd be in the library. She gives a cheerful smile, one quite fitting the atmosphere, and flourishes the empty wrapper of a roll in her hand. She must have had someone else covering for her while she grabbed something to eat. It reminds me that I haven't had anything to eat yet. I don't feel hungry, though, and skipping one lunch won't hurt. Mind if I sit here with you on the bench thing? Sure, go ahead. I quickly slide the letter back into its envelope, slipping it inside my bag, propped it up against the side of the bench as Yuko takes a seat. She drops the wrapper into a bin beside us. Without much to do, I lean back and take what enjoyment I can from the sun, silently reflecting on the letter. The lush lawns, the clear blue skies, everything looks so different from the way it did back then. Even the school's surroundings. From the hill it's on to the woods around it are completely opposite of the urban scenery I remember. Maybe this is what it feels like to be homesick. Then again, it's not an outright bad sensation. The feel of the air around Yamaku, while very different, is also really nice. I think I could get used to it. Hey, Hisao? Yeah? You didn't answer my question from before. I wasn't going to say anything, but you still look troubled. If you don't want to say anything, that is okay. I do not mind at all. I'm sorry for asking something so strange like that. I don't mind. Just, I got a letter from someone I knew before I came to Yamaku. It made me think about some things. I think I'd managed to get over most of the problems that my accident caused, but now I'm not really so sure. Kinda wish I'd never seen it. I do not think that is good, Hisao. When my boyfriend left me, he did so very suddenly,
and never let me know why. At first, I was very depressed about it, but I decided to forgive him.
You forgave him? Couldn't he have at least talked properly with you about it?
He was always one of those people that found it difficult to come close to others. In the end, I decided that I fell in love with him for a reason. He was a good person, and I think that if I had been in his position, I probably would have found it just as hard to try and talk to him.
I don't really see the connection to the letter I got.
I mean that, how should I put this? It must have been very hard for that person to send that letter, and if they did, they must have thought very hard about exactly what to say.
Iwanako managed to write this letter and bring a final close to our relationship, something that I had never managed to do. Whereas here I am, trying to protect and help Hanako as best... Fuck. Damn it. Hanako as best I can, especially with Lily leaving for a while, and I'm not even able to deal with my own problems.
Does that make sense?
She's taken my non-response and furrowed brow as doubt, but really, she really reads faces too much, just like a certain other person. Yeah, that makes sense. The letter was just kind of a shock, really. I think I tried to fool myself into thinking that my life reset when I came to Yamaku, but now I'm suddenly aware that it didn't. I'm at a bit of a loss on how to deal with those feelings.
I think that is something I cannot really help you with. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I think being able to talk with you helped me get things sorted out a bit better in my head. So, thank you anyway. She nods and smiles sweetly. Yuko is a nice girl. It's a shame she's so highly strung so often. God damn it. The school bell ringing out startles us, but got me too, guys. Yeah, no.
I was supposed to be back before the bell. No.
Whoops. She jumps off the bench and almost races off without a second word, but turns on her heel as she remembers she was talking to me just now.
I will see you later, Sao. Cheer up, okay?
I'll try to. Thanks, Yuko. With a quick bow, Yuko takes her leave and begins to rush to the library. Her flight catches the... Damn. Damn. My apologies. Her flight catches the curious eye of a few passing students who are unenthusiastically trudging back to their classes after the fun. Reluctantly standing from the bench, reluctantly crouched at the starting line. Engines pumping and thumping in time. The green light flashes and the flags go up. They're turning and burning. They yearn for the... They deftly maneuver... sorry. I listen to that fucking song again. It's a good song. He's going for distance. Sorry. I dust myself off enjoying them. Even while I walk through the gardens back to the main building, the thought of the letter in my bag doesn't stray far from my mind. Oh shit, hey. The feeling of walking through the streets is one of very deep nostalgia. While Yamaku may feel like the reverse of where I lived in the past, the city at night is amazingly familiar. My eyes are moving constantly from the bright electronic screens glowing high in the night sky, to the street lamps piercing the darkness with their light, to the businessmen enjoying themselves after work, and the busily talking couples on dates. Even if I didn't want to, I can't help soaking in every aspect of the city. I savor its familiarity like a sweet candy sitting on my tongue. I go for some candy right now. Some fucking Skittles. Question right now. This is the most important question I've ever asked anyone before. What is your favorite candy? I got to give it to like Werther's Originals butterscotches. Shit's is delicious. If we're talking about like chocolate candies though, Almond Joys and Butterfingers are amazing. I deliver the question to you. Lily is walking to my left with her cane swaying to and fro, holding onto her sister's arm for guidance while talking to her. Compared to traveling by taxi or bus, being driven by Akira to a rather nice car was in her rather nice car was a much more enjoyable experience. Oh, we finally get to see Hanako's fucking outside clothes. I fucking dig the shit out of that outfit. Maybe not for the person on my right, though. While Lily was used to her sister's driving style, I quite liked a bit of excitement. Hanako was holding on very tightly to the door for most of the trip. I know, I'm the same way. Again, I'm fucking terrified of automobiles. I'm right there with you, Hanako.
Everything looks so pretty at night.
Hanako quickly looks down yet again as she accidentally catches someone's gaze. Yeah, it does. My answer isn't very thoughtful, since I'm distracted by so many thoughts that I find it hard to keep up with small talk. One of those distractions aside from the city's lights is how Hanako looks. This is the first time I've seen her in something other than her school uniform, or her pajamas. Usually you would see this before you'd see pajamas, but you know how it is. It gave me pause when I first saw her outfit, but when we met up at the school gate. Considering how much her head is lowered when people walk near us, I imagine that hat she wears is more than just a fashion statement. It's a nice hat, though. I dig that hat. It's a fucking great hat. You judging Hisao? Well, initially I was very wary of Lily's plan to take us out of the city. When night fell, it became obvious she had thought about this. Not many people have paid Hanako much heed, since the darkness hides her scarring pretty well. So, we're in the city. Any ideas on what to do? Akira beams a smile. Something tells me that she's the one who's making this particular decision, even if her sister may have proposed the outing in the first place. You'll see. Just follow us. It's gonna be great. You can fucking love it. I nod and try my best to stifle a grimace. After what happened during Hanako's birthday party, I do not trust Akira's judgment all that much. Yeah, she's fucking sinister. We keep walking, and I notice we're passing more and more cafes, restaurants, and other eateries. Every once in a while, a drunken man in a suit comes out of a bar, usually being supported by another, but for the most part, the customers around this part of the city look young and fashionable. It's very quiet, but it's back there. Different kinds of music come and go as we pass by each business. The discord created by the overlap should be grating, but it reminds me so strongly of the times I spent in the city with my old friends that I don't really mind. Hanako and I have started to drift a little past Lily and Akira. That comes to a stop when I hear a soft thud from beside me.
Sorry.
By the time she rights herself from her apologetic bow, the middle-aged businessman she bumped into was walking away after mumbling a half-hearted apology. Hanako looks a little put off by the experience, and as she quickly skips ahead to match my pace, I notice her head hanging low once more. She probably bumped into her because she was looking downwards and not where she was going. I stepped to the side a little and put one arm on her far shoulder, drawing her closer.
Hisao?
It's okay. You can walk closer to me if you want. Hanako hesitates, but eventually nods in assent. After a couple times when I thought we'd arrived at Hanako... what? At Akira... that was all fucked up. At Akira's destination, we reach our target. By now, we're below the elevated walkways and past the most garish and brightly lit places. I'm a little surprised, or I'm a bit... No, that works. Synonyms, bitch! The average age of those around us is distinctively older. Shit. And the smell of cigarette smoke is pretty thick. The area is far from seedy, though, and it's a little amusing to see Lily's reaction to the smell of smoke. While it's masked by the low talking of those around us, jazz music can be heard emanating from inside. Looking up at a dimly lit sign, it becomes why. A jazz club. I have to admit, this isn't what I expected. Lily gives an amused snort and a smile.
Somehow, I feel like I should have known it, Akira.
As we talk outside, I notice more and more odd sideways glances directed our way. People obviously catch themselves staring and look away, but that just makes it more obvious. I had noticed this occasionally when we were walking. It's interesting. I don't know how that ended. And moving on. But it's more pronounced now. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. An average-looking Japanese teenage guy, just a little taller than normal, isn't the type to draw attention without making an effort.
Hey, come on. Just because you're teenagers doesn't mean you can't have a little taste, right?
Well, I don't really mind the music, if that's what you mean. I love some jazz. Feel it in your bones right now. I'm getting down all up in here. I just said down. Oh, shit. All right.
I don't mind it either.
She's only just managing to force the words out. It contrasts heavily to when we're alone in Yamaku, and it disappoints me a little that she's so highly strung for what's supposed to be a good time out of the town. I will hit you again, Shannon. It's hard to read Hanako's face as she keeps looking downwards. It's a little wonder she doesn't often come out to the city because of this. And it makes me a little thankful that my own scarring is relatively easily hidden. Lily has a similar way of attracting people's gazes, but for a reason that is clearly different. She hardly looks like a native, and the same can be said for her sister. That much is far more noticeable than her blindness from a distance. She may not be able to see this for herself, but I have little doubt she can hear the odd whispered phrase from people who think they're out of earshot. Be that as it may, she doesn't seem to show any signs of either annoyance or pleasure at the attention. Just fucking there. I assume you get used to it after a while. Akira is still as confident as ever, though. Flashing a smile, she strides in with Lily by her side and the two of us following behind. I'd expected my eyes to need adjusting to the light inside, but it's not much brighter than outside. The music we'd heard is clearer now, mixed in with the sounds of glasses moving on the tables and counter, and the husky chatter of the patrons. Looking to my right reveals the music's source, a jazz group playing beyond some tables. I just noticed I didn't even realize I was doing it before, but I just got this like a casual sway going on. The patrons seem to be mostly men, though there's a handful of women. Nobody looks under 30, aside from us, of course. It feels like we've stepped into the 1920s, and the atmosphere is quite agreeable. I'm not completely comfortable saying because of my age, but were I older, I'd probably feel quite at home. Hanako seems a bit more relaxed now, probably due to no one looking at her. Everyone's talking between themselves, drinking, or watching the band. Akira casually takes a seat at the counter without even glancing around. She's probably come here before. Lily retracts her cane, feeling out the bar stool and the edge of the counter before taking a seat beside her. The bartender takes a brief break from polishing a glass to watch her before putting it down and coming over. Good evening, ladies. What will it be?
Just a scotch. Thanks, Lily? May I have a glass of... A black-suited elbow hits her side sharply. The fuck are you doing? Orange juice, please. Orange juice, please.
There we go. It's still not great, but it's better. No problem. Coming right up. The bartender starts to pour their drinks. A couple of seconds pass before Akira suddenly remembers that Hanako and I are indeed here and turns around to us. Is orange juice a thing that people just have there? I could see, like, for making mixed drinks, maybe. Do people... My dad... Like, both of my fucking parents have been bartenders for the majority of my goddamn existence on this planet, and I don't fucking know. Should know things. You two want anything? Or are you just gonna stand there? Hanako seems to be getting a bit restless. No matter where we're going to seat ourselves, there's going to be people right next to her, and I don't think she looks convincingly older than, like, 20, unlike Lily. Also, like to point out, just in case you missed that, there's no fucking way she wasn't about to, like, order fucking champagne. We're on you, Lily. You fucking drunk. I'm sorry. Looking around, there's a game section to our right. A couple of billiard tables can be seen in the corner, and nobody's using them either. Is it billiards tables? Not billiard tables? Because generally I go with just pool table, because that's easier anyway, but is it billiards? There's an E? Or no, fucking E, goddamn it, Shannon. There's an S at all times? Seems repetitive. I glanced to Hanako, about to ask her if she'd like to play, but she's already looking longingly in the same direction. Maybe it's something that we can get by with so few words nowadays. Maybe it says something that we can get by with... Fuck it, you know what I was gonna say. We'll go play pool over there. Akira leans back to see past me before shrugging and sitting back up.
It seems you have to... It seems you'll have to put up with only me for company. How unfortunate.
Well, that's unfortunate. Shit. I dove off into another voice from another series from like 1 second that doesn't make any sense, and now I'm completely fucking lost. Damn. Have fun, you two. We turn and set off the abandoned corner, with Hanako taking the lead. The prospect of a nice, quiet game away from everyone else makes her walk noticeably faster. Her eyes stay firmly fixed on her prize. The table's full size and well lit despite the surrounding darkness, thanks to the bright overhead lights. A huge painting of something covers the wall. There aren't many people milling about this corner of the club, and I can see Hanako becoming a little less tense as a result.
You know how to play?
I'm no expert, but yeah, I do. Yeah, who don't like a game of pool?
Then, 8-ball?
Sure. Hanako gets the chalk and 2 cues from a set of hooks against one of the walls. One of the walls. While I fetch the balls from the table's pockets and grab the rack from a shelf underneath. She patiently waits as I get the table set up. After slotting the final ball into the rack and doing some last-minute adjustments, I end up having to fight my perfectionist urges and getting the bottom row of balls exactly perpendicular with the edges. I know, right? Just like sometimes, like, it should be this way. Why isn't it this way? With the balls arranged and ready to play, I step back and take my cue from her outstretched arm. I carry out a quick inspection of the tip before I'm satisfied that it's in good condition. So, you've played before?
Once or twice, I just kind of know the rules.
I also have another quick detour. Does anyone ever, like, play a game or a sport or anything like that where they play it, like, all the fucking time? Like, for me, it's cards, different card games. Because every Christmas and Thanksgiving, and so it's like that whole end of the end of the year, my whole extended family kind of gets together and they all celebrate stuff and stuff. And every time we make time to be like, just fucking play cards. That shit's, because it's incredibly fun to just sit around and fucking play cards with people. I fucking adore just sitting down and playing fucking cards with people. Especially when you got good people to do it with. But it's one of those things where I play that shit constantly. I fucking forget the rules every time. I am one of the best card players in my entire fucking family. I will kick everyone's ass, but I need at least like 4 fucking plays, or like turns or rounds or whatever, to even fucking remember what the goddamn rules are. It's ridiculous. My memory is fucked. The air between us feels a little awkward. She's still pretty nervous, understandably given that we're in public. Eventually the silence becomes too much even for Hanako, and she begins to quietly stammer.
Who'll break?
I think for a moment before reaching into my pocket and drawing a coin. I'll take heads. Your tails. After a nod of agreement from Hanako, I flick the coin up into the air, catch it, and flip it over into the back of my left hand. Looks like it's you that gets to break. Hanako nods again before taking up her position at the end of the table. You play in these games. Hanako's a getting all these balls. Nope. Sorry, ignore that. She's not usually this quiet around me, but I'm not wholly sure if it's because of the tidbits of information about her past that slipped out moments ago. The cue comes back in a practiced gesture before smacking dead in the center of the cue ball with a thud. The white ball skates across the smooth green expanse before smashing into the carefully arranged balls at the other end. Balls skitter across the table at high speed. The break was good, with the balls being nicely distributed around the table. The balls. Kurt, you're back. My eyes are already flicking from one to another to pick out the easiest candidates to pocket. Hanako retreats from the side, and I take my shot.
Well done.
It's only after Hanako says this that I realize the ball I was shooting at suck. Fuck. I look at her and notice a small smile on her face. It's nice how playing games seems to loosen her up a little. I guess I'm stripes then. I take a step back and let her take the next shot, but she doesn't advance to the table. Rather, she looks down a little and rubs her arm. By now, I can identify this as one of her gestures that means she wants to say something, but isn't sure enough of herself to do it. What's up?
It's just... you had a nice smile. Do you like playing this?
I sigh and lean back against the table. I like playing, yeah. I think I was smiling because it's really nostalgic, though. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. Me and my friends used to play pool in the game centers near where we lived pretty often. And at night, too.
Wouldn't your parents...
My parents both worked, so they didn't really mind me not being in the house. I stayed on top of schoolwork pretty easily as well, so there's plenty of time to do other stuff at night. Our conversation dies down with Hanako's timidity getting the better of her. In response, I get off the table and let her take her turn shooting. That's a smile in the blush, too. It's a good combination. Fuck you and me ladies, and just people and ladies in general. I don't know where I was going with any of that. It's all fucked up. There aren't many solids in easy positions, so Hanako bends down and takes a while to line herself up properly. Hanako's expression is the same as when we play chess, a relaxed but focused concentration. Athletes sometimes talk about getting into a zone where nothing unnecessary enters their mind. I wonder if it's something that she can do. Her posture's good, better than mine, to be sure. It's very close to a textbook method of playing, whereas I tend to contort myself into whatever position I feel is most natural when for the shot I'm taking. She lines up the cue comes back, and she does a couple of practice movements to make sure she's lined up correctly. She's got that game face on. Hanako takes games so seriously. It's the only real hobby I know she has, outside of reading. It feels good to be able to share this kind of experience with her. She takes the shot after careful consideration, and the cue ball zooms off towards a ball sitting in the slightly awkward angle near her corner. Hanako's careful preparation pays off as the cue ball hits and sends the ball rolling towards the corner pocket. For a moment, it looks as if it'll stop just before the lip of the hole, but eventually tilts in enough to drop in. Man, this is a pretty hard shot. You can pull the head off. I don't think I have much hope.
I'm not that good.
It's not just the shot, though. Even when lining up, you looked really serious. You like this with chess, too. The praise makes her a little flustered. She sets the cue against the table and stands, turning to me.
I just like those kinds of things.
Her fingers are twisting and turning tightly.
When I was in the orphanage, I just kept doing the things I liked before. If I played games with the others, that was enough for the helpers there, so...
I never thought about it that way. Staff at an orphanage would naturally want to have everyone socialize at least a little. If it's okay for me to ask, what was it like for you at the orphanage?
Why do you want to know?
I've touched a nerve, but the fact that she responded at all shows there's at least a chance she'll answer my question. Before, she likely would have shrunk away from it without a word.
I'll tell you, but could you tell me who the bitch whose name we don't know is?
I don't know. Oh, the letter. Fucking name, man. It's not even that hard. It's just I fuck it up every goddamn time. I wonder how long she's been waiting for the right opportunity to ask me this. I'm surprised, but I don't hesitate. Sharing information is naturally a matter of give and take. She's, someone I used to like. Her nervousness subsided, at least for the time it took to ask. Her curiosity is getting the better of her, and I feel a bit uncomfortable to be questioned on this of all matters. There's no way I could spell out all my feelings about Hanako. Fucking damn it. Here, I don't even know myself what my feelings regarding her are. Even after talking to Yuko earlier, I kind of want to avoid the subject around Hanako. Hanako doesn't look overly satisfied with the awkward ending to the conversation, but thinks better of continuing it. She was only just managing to ask me in the first place, without knowing that I wouldn't want to talk about it. I moved to finally take my own shot. The lack of talking between us is filled by the chatter of other patrons and the band at the other end of the club. Spying a shot that doesn't look too difficult, I try and shoot for it. The cue ball taps the ball and the trajectory is about right, but I put in too much power. I don't know my own strength. It grazes the corner of the hole and moves off to the side, just skirting the pocket. I grit my teeth a little. I was pretty good at this game, and it's frustrating to have deteriorated it so much. I step back and let Hanako take her turn, glancing towards the counter where Lily and Akira are sitting. They're talking busily between themselves and seem to be having a good time. I turn back to Hanako. She takes her shot with the same face as before. She lines herself up and sharply pushes the cue. Just as before, she sinks the ball she was aiming for. It drops on the side pocket more cleanly than her last, though. It looks as if she's getting a bit more into the groove of the game. Nicely done. She hesitates for a moment and begins to address me without turning her head.
The orphanage was nice. It felt a bit like Yamaku does, and the staff was really kind. But as the years went on, I realized something. I was different.
I feel strange to hear her speak so candidly about herself. She's audibly forcing the words out. It reminds me of when she insisted on telling me about the fire. Hanako must feel that she has to tell me such things if I'm willing to tell her about my own past. Her grip on the cue tightens as she continues to speak.
Most of the children were up for adoption just like I was. But unlike me, they gradually left, one by one. By the time I went to Yamaku, I was among the oldest children there.
That's the sad part. Hanako would have been a great little baby to have. She wasn't super tiny when it had the fire or whatever, but she was an adorable little youngin'. Be difficult, but you could work around it. You can do.
For a while, I helped with some of the younger children, but eventually...
I lay a hand on her shoulder. She's forcing herself by now. It's okay. She looks mildly surprised for a moment, but then nods before setting down her cue and turning towards me.
Do you really think so?
Yeah, I think so. Even while Lily's away, I'll be around to protect you, right? Hanako looks at me for a long time, and I'm taken a bit off guard. Her expression hasn't changed from before, still looking somewhat maudlin, and silences between us aren't unusual. I think it's the fact that she's holding such prolonged eye contact that makes it feel a bit odd. It feels as if she's judging me. It's a very strange, vaguely uncomfortable feeling. Hanako?
I understand. Thank you.
She smiles and looks away a little, but feels stilted. Hanako isn't really good at faking emotions, and this is no exception. I moved to the... Oh, my fucking... my throat's beginning to fuck with me. Oh, I'm not going to be talking much today, damn. It's not after this. I move to the table and take my turn to try and distract myself, but it doesn't seem to work. Does she think I'm not up to the task of helping her? Is she disappointed in me? I'm probably overthinking this. While her silences are just an accepted fact of life by now, sometimes I do wish she'd speak more. With a thud, I send the white sphere careening down the table into my target. Hanako sees what's happening just as I do. The ball hits hard, and the striped ball I'd intended to sink, veering off towards the A-ball. Sure enough, as both Hanako and I look on and bite our lips, they connect, and the black ball rolls leisurely into the corner pocket. Well, damn. All I can do is sigh. It looks as if Hanako's smiling again, though, so maybe it wasn't all for naught. Dude, you can make a cool lady smile? It don't matter. Lose them shits. What? Whatever. Point is, it's a good time. Damn. That was an awful shot. You win. It seems I'm getting pretty rusty after all this time. Hanako bends down and begins to shoot the remaining balls into the closest pockets. I almost ask if we could play another game, but a quick check on my watch confirms that the night is getting pretty late. Lily and Akira appear to be still drinking at the counter. Seems we'll have to drag them away.
Hisao?
I turn back to Hanako, who's still looking over the pool table shooting balls. Her voice sounds different from before.
I'm here for you as well.
I suddenly find myself blushing. It's only natural that you'd respond this way given what I said earlier, but it's still a shock to actually hear it. Just what the fuck is my relationship with this girl? I want to protect her, to make her happy, but I'm not really sure that it's something like love. I don't think these are the same kind of feelings I have for Lily either. feel sorry for her, having gone through so much in her life. Her parents died in a house fire, and she lived in an orphanage for most of her childhood. I can't even imagine that kind of life. But I feel like there's so little I can do for her, especially now that Lily's going to be leaving the country. Hanako and I finish tidying up the tables and cues and pick up Lily and Akira on our way out of the club. It feels like something changed between Hanako and I. I can't really place what it is, but Hanako's acting differently now. I honestly feel like we're further apart, if anything. So, you two enjoy yourselves. Hanako and I both nod and agree. The game was good, and we both did learn more about each other, so I guess that's an honest answer. Lily appears to be a little distracted. You worried about the trip, Lily? She pauses before sighing and smiling weakly.
A little. It means quite a bit.
The comment earns her a clap on the shoulder from her sister. Hanako smiles back too.
You'll be okay, Lily. I hope you can enjoy your time over there. Thank you, Hanako. I'll try to. It'll be nice to be back with my family after all, no matter how brief a time it may be.
With that, the four of us begin to walk to the car park near where Akira's car is. We continue to talk between ourselves, but it's mostly just small talk. Fucking criminal. I'm just kidding. The second glass of wine goes down a lot quicker than the first, and before any of us notice, the second bottle's empty. While Akira is helping us finish them off, Hanako looks to be almost equaling her in the amount she's had. Look at her fucking face. It's like, hi, I'm here. How you doing? So, you got a great ass. Yeah.